Hey Magic fans, Captain Clyde here. We're back again. We have finished 18 boxes of Kaldheim set boosters. Wow, was that a really wild ride. Check out the videos if you guys haven't. There are some really cool box pulls. They're really entertaining. Check out every video also of every individual case. I did every 6 boxes. I did a video review of how it went. So what this review is going to be is I'm going to go through this time and I'm going to tell you money-wise, monetarily, what I got out of those 18 boxes. So where did I find this information from? Well, I sell stuff on eBay. And using TCG Mid, MTG Goldfish, places like that, I did a kind of an average estimate. And what I'm going to do is, at the end of it, I'm going to tell you when I actually listed things, because the price, obviously, during all the box openings, the market was going up and down, so things could move. And I gave you a dollar value between every one of them, and I'm going to show you how close that dollar value was by me estimating compared to what the actual end dollar value was. So, let's get to writing. So, let me get my hand over here if I don't knock anything over. So, the first thing I'd like to talk to you guys about is, you know, we're comparing these to draft booster boxes. So we have draft, and then we have set boosters, right? So if you look at a draft box, if we was going to do 18 draft boxes, that's 648 packs versus 540 packs of the set boosters. Now, let's do the easy part first, rares. How many rares did I get in set boosters compared to draft boosters? Well, obviously, draft boosters are going to be a 1-for-1. That's kind of easy. But if I go off the number of rares that I actually got in these boxes, the number of rares I actually got was 635. So it's actually a little shy of what it should be. It's basically 1 in every 0.97 packs. So every now and then I did not get an actual rare. So actually, if you look at the numbers, it's pretty easy to see. I was actually short 13 rares compared to doing a set box. Now, in the set boxes, compared to how many rares came in a pack, the number is actually 1.17. Obviously, I'm rounding these up or down. So every pack had at least 1 rare, and then some had 2. And that's pretty much what you're going to look for here. But to be honest, a lot of the rares in this set wasn't where the money was. It was the Mythics. So let's talk Mythics. Now, I don't have the Mythic stats for the draft boosters right off the top of my head. I don't have a box to look at or anything. But number-wise, there was 84 total Mythics in all the set boosters. So what that means is 1 in roughly every 6 packs had a Mythic and a set booster. If I pulled the exact same number of Mythics out of a draft pack, it would be 1 in 8. So it's actually very similar. Both of these, really. But then, the one thing you want to take into consideration, let's talk about list cards. So for list cards, I actually pulled 133. Now, mind you, out of those 133, there was at least 2 rares per box. So if we do 2 rares per box, you know, 18 boxes, that's an additional 36. That actually makes up for the rares that we were missing in the set boosters that we would normally get in the draft boosters, plus some. Now, were all those rares good? No. Some of them were good. But once again, not all the rares in the base set are good either. So it's kind of half a dozen one, 6 the other, honestly. But when we look at 133, we basically pulled a list card 1 out of every 4 packs. So those odds really aren't that bad. And obviously in draft boosters, you don't get list cards. Now next, let's talk about foils. So for foils, we pulled 69 foils, non-common, mind you, non-uncommon, just rares, 69 foil rares. That's basically 1 in 8 for the set boosters. So it's okay, I guess. Not too shabby. A lot of foil rares weren't worth a lot of money. Some of them were. Once again, keep it in consideration. There's some things I'm not including in this. For one thing, I'm not including art cards. I'm also not including foil lands. So foil lands are in both, but art cards are not. So this is your basic breakdown. Is the trade-off better for you for the art cards and the list cards? That's actually a 0. My bad, guys. So it's really a trade-off, and maybe that trade-off is worth an extra couple dollars. Speaking of dollars, well, Clyde, how much did you make? Glad you asked. Let me go through the actual financial breakdown for you guys and let you know how much I made. So, as I go through here, and we actually start talking about money, you'll notice that, let's see here, check my notes. Out of the Mythics, I actually pulled about $482. Now, mind you, these are all prices that are set to the market value of eBay over the last couple of days as I've been posting and selling cards. The rare value came up to $1,270. And list value, believe it or not, came up to about $396. So, really not too shabby. Now, once again, all these prices are based off of eBay. So some of those may not get sold at full price. I may have to discount or lower my price later. That's just the original listing. So, as we look at it and we keep going, the next thing we'll look at is how much is the set worth? You may ask yourself, well, Clyde, why do you care how much the set itself is worth? Well, that's because when I go through here and I do this, these eBay listings here, I actually pull out a play set of 4 of everything, including rares and mythics. So I keep those and sell the rest. So the set itself, at last time I looked, was about $300 a piece per play set. So you times that by 4. I got to keep $1,200 worth of cards as it sits right now at market value. Now, what does this mean for the actual price? Well, as we add all this up, what you're going to find, is that roughly my original estimate was around $2,233 worth of inventory from all 18 boxes. Now, with that said, once you do the math on all this, you have 8, 17, 24, carry 2, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, carry the 1. We end up with my actual value being $2,148. Now, what that doesn't include is this here. So if I add this, because these are cards that I kept, well, let me take that back. That actually, these two numbers are the same for the simple fact that these were all my card estimates, and this is how much I list price was. So if I actually add the $1,200 for the cards that I also kept, $1,200, sorry about that, guys. So bad at this. I should get a whiteboard. So it actually ends up being about $33.48. So honestly, it's not too bad. But you remember when I talked about my videos, I also talked about removing shipping fees, costs, so forth and so on. So if you go through and you do that, the first thing you have to remember is because I kept this $1,200, I don't get to claim that as part of a profit. Because mind you, I did 18 boxes, and let's say those 18 boxes were $105 a piece. So 40, 8, 12, 8, 9, and then 0, 5, 0, 1. 1970. So as you can see, let me scoot that up there for you. The price I paid for the boxes, $19.70, compared to $22.30 of my actual estimate of value, is only a couple $100 off. So I barely made any money. But if you take into consideration my final value of cards sold, plus the fact that I got to keep $1,200, then I paid $19.70 for a final value of $3,348. Once again, at current market price, if market holds. Market's going to go up, market's going to go down, so all that stuff is variable, but that's your rough estimate. So it looks like, if you just had to guess here, it's looking like basically $1,200 in savings is what I basically made. But because I keep that $1,200, I didn't really make any money. So with my final sell value being $21.48, you probably lose about 30% of this, I would say, to eBay fees, shipping, so forth and so on. So roughly, I would say $600 easy. Just do some simple math. Which means your net profit from these cards is going to be $15.48, which means technically to buy 18 boxes just to sell, I would lose $400 roughly if I kept a play set of 4. So basically, a play set of 4 cards cost me $400. Honestly, I think that's a pretty good deal, because if you actually look at it for full net value, you actually end up ahead, because I could sell these play sets and make more money. There's other things you can also do too. You can actually box up the commons and uncommons and sell them as play sets of 4 for about $50 a piece. I can normally get about 3 to 4 of those, so that's another $200 I didn't include in this. Common foils can normally go for about $2 for a play set of 4. I went through and counted those. There was very many of those. I probably can make another $100 or so there. Once again, I did not count art cards in this. So once again, art cards could push the price up if people actually do buy them, if they're worth any money, especially the signed ones. Plus art card sets are in there. So there's a lot of things to take into consideration when you look at whether or not this is for you. Me personally, I enjoy the game. I love cracking the packs. So for me, that couple $100 that I'm probably going to lose to have a play set of 4 so I can go out and play Magic anytime I want and not have to worry about trading and so forth and so on. For me, that's a good trade-off. Now, if you wanted to sell the whole thing off as singles, you'd probably make a couple $100. But you got to remember, it's very time-intensive. There's lots of labor with packaging, envelopes, stamps, postage. And as a matter of fact, the video on Saturday I got coming up, I'm going to go through how I make a profit going through eBay, how I ship, what I pay for what, and give you guys a real breakdown so you can see what it's like to actually do this and sell cards. That way, if you think this is something you can do, even if it's just for a couple boxes, or if you have a collection at home that you wanted to sell and make a couple extra bucks, you can find out the best ways to sell those cards or any kind of collectible card and get the most net profit back in return. So with that said, also, one thing else I'd like to bring into the picture is, and I'm sure, and maybe you even asked this yourself while you're sitting there, Clyde, you said you got a play set of 4 of everything. Does that mean you got all the mythics you needed? Technically, no. Some of the mythics I needed I didn't have. Some of them I had extras of some play sets and not others. So let me give you a breakdown of mythics that I had to actually go on eBay and purchase myself, which I actually took off the price of this. Out of all the mythics, the only things I did not get, I needed 1 God of Battle. I needed 1 Resplendent Marshal. I needed 2 Battle Mammoths, of all things. 2 Tyvar Kell. 1 Kaya. 1 Alron's Epiphany. And believe it or not, I needed 3 Quake Bringers. I guess it's better than needing 4 gold span dragons. So, but those were the only ones I was missing. I had extra gold span dragons. I actually ended up, I believe, if you go back and count, I think I had right around 8 Tybalts. Two of them showcase, one alternate art, big money cards. I had 2 extra comas. I had a lot of extra cards that I didn't think I got during the box set openings just because I didn't see them or really keep track of them very well. So actually, I got all the big money makers, and I really only missed a couple. I know Tyvar is kind of worth a little bit of money. They all really are to a sense, but none of them are more than $5 or $6, honestly, depending on where I went to go get it. So once those come in, then I'll have my complete play set of 4. And also, too, take into consideration, when I say that, some of those cards I kept, even though they weren't, because normally I keep just the original cards because they're always cheaper and sell the expensive ones. But instead of doing that this time to try to save some money, I kept alternate art cards just to have a play set of 4. Like, for example, and I kind of did this because I want to. That last box opening, you guys see me finally hit the Phyrexian language Vorinclex. And I did not post that on eBay. Sorry, guys. That was in my collection of 4. I had 5 Vorinclexes out of 18 boxes. 3 regulars, 1 showcase, and 1 Phyrexian art. So I sold the showcase one, kept the other 4, which is the 3 normal ones, and 1 Phyrexian language one, because it's just too sweet to get rid of. And I really think it's going to be worth money in the long run because it's really a hard card to get to. And I did that for a few other things too, keeping showcase cards to keep my play set of 4. And I may go back and visit that later if those card prices drop a little bit or dip to try to sew that up and sell something that might be worth a little bit more if it's actually worth my time. Because you got to remember, sometimes the cards that are cheap and not showcase may only be a couple dollars separate, so there's no point in selling off to get the other one when you're not going to make any money because of shipping and so forth and so on. But, for example, if I had, the alternate art Tibble, which is twice as much as a regular Tibble, I would easily sell that to buy a regular Tibble and pocket some cash. Just food for thought there, guys. So with that said, guys, I really appreciate your time today. I hope this makes sense to you. If it doesn't, leave a like on the video and I'll think about it. No, seriously, put something down in the comments. Let me know what you don't understand. I'll be more than happy to explain a little better, maybe some of my numbers, where they came from. And once again, guys, always remember, this is based on what you can do inside your budget. Never go outside your budget. I spent almost $2,000 up front. Now I'm recouping that. Once I'm done recouping that money, I'll lose a couple $100. That $1,548, or whatever that rough number is, I get back. That's going to go to the next 18 boxes, guys, which is going to be Strixhaven. So look forward to that. We're going to do 18 boxes of Strixhaven when it comes out. That's going to be sweet. May even pop a couple collector boosters depending on how many of them I can get from my supplier. So, as always, guys, like, subscribe, tell your friends, pass the word out, let people know about this. This is a good way that you can get your sets and your play and your money. Maybe you have a side hobby or whatever. If you get lucky, maybe you can make more money than I did. Who knows? You guys seen a couple of them boxes were pretty bad. And so, as always, guys, like, subscribe, tell your friends, and play some Magic. Get together with your friends, your family, and as always, be kind. And I'll see you guys next time.